Hey gang, must be the month of April. We have started a new theme for this month. As you can see, I've got my coach hat on here and felt like shooting some baskets, but Monday was the last college basketball game of the year. Way to go, UConn Huskies. And we've got a couple of quick announcements here before I get started on Wisdom Wednesday. Our theme for the month is Knock It Out of the Park, in reference to the start of baseball season and my favorite Houston Astros, who won the World Series last year and maybe can do it again this year. They're off to a slow start, but there's like 2,000 games before the end of the year, so maybe they'll catch up. But anyway, we're going to knock it out of the park in the month of April, which means every month we're going to be bringing you some new, hopefully fresh scientific information that you can live a healthier, happier life from. And one of my other announcements is the American Statesman, the local newspaper, has started their annual Community Best Awards. And the last 5 years running since they started the contest, we won either Best Dentist in Austin, Best Cosmetic Dental Office in Austin, or twice we won both on the same year. So we're going to do it again this year, and you can log in at statesman.com and vote and backslash or forward slash best of is how you get to the contest. There's links in the newspaper also if you like the handheld newspaper, and all you got to do is log in starting last Monday all the way through the end of the month through I think it's April 23rd is the last day, which is Monday 3 weeks from now. The reason they do that is because it's an at-large contest. They'll narrow it down to 5. In years past, then they've narrowed it down to 3, and then they finally had a winner, which takes like 6 weeks to do. I think this year they're narrowing it down from general field to 5, and then they have one more round to choose best of in each category. We'd love to win both. They're in 2 separate categories. One's in health and wellness, and the other is in some other, the next category. They're the first 2 categories when you log in. But you can log in every day with the same email, and it takes less than 3 minutes to log in, make your vote. The first time you've got to log in your email and your date of birth. After that, all you got to do is click to start voting again. You can vote every day. We need your votes. We would appreciate your help. And so log in every day, take the 2 to 3 minutes and vote for Austin Dental Spa for Best Dental Office and Best Cosmetic Dentist in Austin. And we would sure appreciate it. We hope to make the round of 5. And then from there, you'll hear from me when they start the next contest, probably about a month from now. So April is also Oral Cancer Awareness Month, and so my friends at the American Cancer Society asked me to mention that. To watch for symptoms of pain in the head and neck area, especially swollen lymph nodes right underneath here or down the FCM muscle right here that sticks out when you turn your head to the side. The lymph nodes go in like a spiral staircase around that muscle. So any swollen lymph nodes when you don't have an infection in your head and neck area could be a sign of early oral cancer detection. Ulcerations in the mouth, bad breath, different colored spots, either dark red or white in the soft tissues of the mouth, all are signs, but particularly it's swelling that didn't used to be there and doesn't go away all by itself. Those are the things to look for. The American Cancer Society is saying that in 2023, they're expecting this year, based on previous years, 54,540 new cases of oral cancer being diagnosed and 11,580 deaths. Usually that comes from an insurance company. We're looking at that, but that's from the American Cancer Society. They happen to know what they're talking about with all these different cancers. It used to be and what we've always all grown up thinking is that tobacco use, smoking and tobacco are the main precursors to oral cancer, but that's no longer the case. There's a rising population of young, healthy, non-smoking people that are getting oral cancers because of the human papillomavirus, HPV, infections in the mouth area. You can look it up online to find out how that happens, because I can't get into this. We got to keep it G-rated. Anyway, the HPV virus, the best way to prevent that is abstinence, which either goes over real well with teenagers, or go get the HPV vaccine, which is inexpensive, and I think you can get it at most any pharmacy. But that's the best way to get vaccinated against HPV if you're in an at-risk group. So let's get to the main topic. What does a mattress, a toothbrush, and a salmon dinner have in common? Any guesses? Well, let me tell you, what we're going to talk about today is 5 ways that the Harvard School of Medicine says that you can keep inflammation in check. And I think you'll catch my drift as we go into this. Number 1 on their list of 5 things to reduce inflammation in your body is to eat fatty fish twice per week. What fatty fish could that possibly be? Salmon. Salmon, anchovies, halibut, sardines, and tuna are the main fatty fishes. And the reason that those are important is in the fatty parts of the fish is omega-3 oils. And omega-3s and omega-6s are 2 of what they call essential fatty acids, because they're essential because your body can't make them. The human body cannot make omega-3 and omega-6s, so you either have to take it as a supplement form. That's why you see them all over the place in the health food stores and in the vitamin sections in the grocery store, because omega-3 and omega-6s have to be supplemented. So you either have to ingest them in these fatty fishes, or you have to take them as supplements. So the omega-3s are important because they reduce inflammation by stimulating some of the immune system cells in our bodies. So get your fix of omega-3s either through the fatty fishes or through supplements. So that's number 1. That takes the salmon off the list. What do the other 2 have to do about it? How about a mattress? Well, sleep is another important one, and that's number 2. And we talked about this just last week. Our whole Wisdom Wednesday was all about sleep and how that can affect your health and vitality. So not getting enough sleep is actually linked to obesity and to inflammation in general in your body. And I know that from my own body. If I don't get enough sleep after 2 or 3 days, my ankles will swell up. I just kind of feel not well rested. So it's important that if you're not sleeping well, if you find that you're tossing and turning at night, might be time for a new mattress. So there's number 2. We got the salmon, we got the mattress out of the way. Now, what's number 3? Brushing your teeth regularly. Inflammation in the mouth. It's been proven that people that have inflammation of their gum tissues in their mouth, they probably got inflammation in other areas of the body. It didn't just happen in here. There's no gate here that stops and keeps things from up here, like they taught us 40 years ago in dental school, that what happens in the mouth stays in the mouth. No, it gets into the bloodstream and goes through your whole body. So brush your teeth regularly. We always recommend at least twice a day. I've got some crazy patients that are obsessive enough that they brush after every meal, and even several other times a day. You can do that as long as you're doing it correctly. You're not going to hurt yourself, but twice a day is enough to disrupt the bacteria that are growing around your teeth, knock the food particles off, and that will keep you healthy. Number 4, so there's the toothbrush. So we knocked off mattress, fatty fish or salmon, and toothbrush in the first 3, and I still got 2 more to go. Number 4, go for a walk. What does a walk have to do with it? Well, aerobic exercise has been proven the kind that our old definition of aerobic exercise is if you can be having a conversation with someone and you're exercising, that's aerobic exercise. It means you're not getting winded, which means then you've gone into an anaerobic state, like lifting weights or something. So if you're able to have a conversation, and that's the great thing about walking for 20 minutes a day, a brisk walk, it helps it fight chronic inflammation, stimulates your immune system, and you get a little sunshine in Texas this time of year. Number 5, we've gone over this in Wisdom Wednesdays before. Do some deep breathing exercises. Y'all have heard me do the 3 7s. 7 seconds, inhale. 7 seconds, hold it. And then 7 seconds, breathe it out. That's a well-known meditative. Some meditation techniques say 8 seconds. 7, 8 seconds, I don't think your body really notices that much of a difference between the two. I learned the 3 7s. But either way, I've had patients that are familiar with meditation techniques do that in the dental chair while they're getting their dental work done. And it is effective at reducing your stress level and therefore indirectly reducing your inflammation levels. So those are some 5 healthy tips, simple to do. You don't require any expensive equipment. They're all easy to take care of, and it might help you reduce the inflammation in your system and help you hit a home run for the month of April. And I always give a health tip. My health tip this week is choose xylitol gum. Why xylitol? Well, xylitol is one of many artificial sweeteners. There's 0 calories in xylitol, and xylitol really it's in all the remineralizing toothpaste because xylitol supposedly has the ability to not only stop the demineralization of your teeth, but there is evidence potentially, they're still doing studies ongoing right now, but they're finding that it may actually help with the remineralization of previously developing decayed areas. So that the jury's still out on that. But another thing that we found out interesting about xylitol during the COVID pandemic was that I guess I can say was behind us. It's pretty much behind us. It's still out there, but you're not even reading it on the front page of the paper anymore. It's back page news now. But there's a nasal spray called Xlear, Xlear, that has xylitol in it. And they found that people who were using that were not getting COVID. And the best they can do is still somewhat theoretical, but they found that there are receptors in the nose and down the esophagus called ACE2, or not the esophagus, the trachea, into your lungs, called ACE2 receptors. And they suspect that that's how COVID got into our bodies. That's why it was such a big respiratory concern that it might be floating around in the air. We found out that's not exactly true. But anyway, the people who were using Xlear were not getting COVID at the same rate as the rest of the population. And they found that xylitol blocks those ACE2 inhibitors in the nose area, and so it kept COVID from being able to enter the body. So indirect, but it did work, and they do sell a lot of that stuff. I usually buy it 4 bottles at a time off of Amazon, so you can get the stuff if you're concerned about that aspect of it. But if you're going to chew gum, choose one that's got xylitol as the sweetener. There are a bunch of different brand names out there, and quick search on the internet and you can find out whether your favorite gum is in there. So that's my health tip for the week. This is the first week of April. I hope you played a good April Fool's joke on somebody and got away with it, and but not for too long. And we're going to have fun this month with knocking it out of the park in April. So I'll see you next week for another version of Wisdom Wednesday.